I'm Alma Lee. I'm a psychotherapist and transformative lifestyle resiliency coach and author, and I want to help you reach your goals by teaching you how to step outside of those fear-based mindsets and into your powerful, loving self. Let's get started. What if I told you that you're programmed? Yeah, you've probably heard it before. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've heard it in social media and in conversation. You've probably actually seen it on the news where they have sort of tickled your senses, as it were, as you are consuming the lower vibrational inputs of what if you're programmed? That's part of the program. It really is. In creating this episode for you today, I found it to be very interesting in my own deprogramming process, in my own intentional engagement. Everything that I do throughout my day, I do intentionally. At least I try to. And when I catch myself doing something that is part of the program paradigm, which we'll get into, I change it. I stop doing it. I pull away from it. I ask myself in a space of critical assessment, what is this doing for me? And let's dig into it a little bit. It's interesting to me in doing this podcast for you for a little over a year now, that the concepts that I have spoken of, which are purposeful concepts, I'm pretty proud of the work that I've done with this show, and from fear to love, but I don't think that any of the episodes have quite encapsulated the concept of from fear to love the way this one will. And let me explain a little bit further on how that correlates to programming. So what if, right? Let's talk about it. Let's consider this. What if you're in a program? What's the purpose of that? Well, my assessment, and I'm certain that other people who are going on this, I guess you could call it an evolution of self, where you are evolving out of a lower vibrational way of thinking, a way of sort of moving through life into a higher vibration of self. First of all, let me tell you, everything that we experience in life is energy. That's it. Nothing more. The phone in your hand, the computer that you're looking at, the chair that you're sitting in or bed that you're lying on, whatever, everything around you, the walls, the ceiling, everything, your hand, the glasses you're wearing, everything is energy. Nothing is still. When you look at matter, right, it is just a shift between wave and particle. That's it. That's it. Think about it. When scientists have taken these super microscopes and they have looked at matter under a microscope, and they get past the atoms, the electrons, the quarks, and they try to dig into the smaller aspects of everything, you know what they found? Empty space. Empty space. Where's the information that creates everything around us? Yeah, I'm going to blow your mind today. These are the concepts that I think about every day. And while it can be a little bit fear-inducing, it doesn't have to be. Because once you absorb the concept of the program, you realize the purpose and why you're here. This is deep. This is a deep episode, and this is an episode that I have, I've hesitated. I've hesitated on recording it, I guess, because of my own, fear, fear and being programmed in the worry that it might not be received well, worry that people aren't ready to hear it. Yes, you are. You are. And the funny thing is that if you don't know that you're programmed, how are you going to get out of it? So that's what we're here to do today. And so I just want to interject into your morning, your commute, wherever you happen to be and listening to this, to consider these concepts and to look at your life a little bit deeper with a little bit more discernment on how you're moving. What are your thoughts every day? Literally, everything that we think about, our imagination, is quite literally what we manifest in our daily life. And I will tell you this much. The tone of these podcasts, these episodes moving forward, it's going to take more of a spiritual tone. It's going to take more of a manifestation tone, because that is essentially what we're here to do, from fear into love. And I'm going to dig deeper into the concepts, maybe more so in a scientific way, of what fear is versus love. And I might not have necessarily considered that when I first started this podcast, but it was most definitely in my subconscious. That is an absolute for sure. I was trying to create something that would be received well because I was in the program and I was just testing it out, but I'm ready to sink my teeth in. If you're programmed, why? Why would you be programmed? First of all, let's consider that. Why on earth would any of us need to be programmed? Well, initially, when you consider it just in a basic term, my assessment is just to keep you stuck, right? You know, and that kind of ties into the theme of my Power Shop program. The reason that I created the Power Shop is to help people get unstuck. I don't even think that I was conscious about it at the time. I was just doing the work. But we're stuck. Don't you ever feel stuck? Don't you ever wake up in the morning and wonder, what am I doing with my life? What's up with this job? Am I sure about my partnership? Am I sure about where I'm heading? Am I sure about where I'm living? You know, when you start having this flood of details, things that are going on in your life that make you feel overwhelmed, that make you feel like you're completely and consistently out of control, and then you listen to the news. Stop it. Stop it. It's all part of the program. I want to help you do this. I want to help you move out of this. So, you know, why? Why are we programmed? You know, why do we need to be stuck? Okay, let's look at that. Well, you know, and we're not gonna you know, rebuild Rome in one episode of this podcast, but I do want to plant some seeds for you today to get you thinking, and plus to keep you, you know, subscribed and listen to the future episodes, because I'm going to continue to dig further into this. I think it's helpful. I think it's going to be purposeful. Stick with me. So think about mass populations, right? Think about large groups of people. That's a lot of power. When you have a large group of people and, you know, these people don't know how powerful you. First of all, you're extremely powerful, but due to the program, you're not aware of it, or you're fearful of your power. You would need to be programmed so that you are obedient. You need to be obedient. Obedient to who? Obedient to what? Why do you need to be obedient at all? Well, if you're obedient, imagine this. If you consider obedience as a character trait, then you're going to get up on time, you're going to show up at work, you're going to show up in your relationships, you're going to show up for your kids, you're going to show up for your friendships, you're going to, as part of the program, feel inferior, feel insecure, have lack of confidence, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not handsome or beautiful or thin or tall or whatever attribute you feel is lacking in your life. Creates a sense of obedience so that you will seek to find your worthiness and value of self outside of yourself in the interests of others. Aha. Think about that. Hit rewind. You're going to listen to this again. Think about the benefit of certain entities. Think about the benefit that your inferiority, your insecurity, your lack of confidence has in certain product development. You know, diet programs, gyms, memberships, supplements, cosmetics, skincare. There's nothing wrong with self-care, first of all. That's not what we're talking about here. But we're talking about the consumption of information and products, commerce, as a means to make you feel a little bit better about yourself, because the program has you stuck in a mindset where you feel a sense of lack on a constant basis. Everything that you think about, every thought that comes through your head every single day is a direct result of your imagination and results in the manifestation of that. You feel sick? Guess what? Symptoms are going to show up. You feel like you're not going to get that promotion at work? That's right, you're not going to, because you exude an energetic vibration, a signature in your energy field that tells everyone around you, I'm not good enough for this promotion. So guess what? That's what you put out into the universe. That is what you're going to get back. We're going to talk more about manifestation in future episodes, so stick around. But as far as this goes, this is how you are actually playing into the program. You're buying into the program because of the fear. The fear is the fundamental mindset of all of this. Think about it. Think about the fear that is associated with, let's say for men, I'm not tall enough, I'm not muscular enough, I don't make enough money. Where's the fear in that? Well, if I'm not tall enough, if I'm not attractive enough, if I don't make enough money, if I don't have big muscles, if I'm not fit, if I don't exude a concept of masculinity, I'm not going to find a partner. And if I don't have a partner because I'm not attractive enough to find a partner, I'm going to be alone. I don't want to be alone. I'm scared to be alone. I've been programmed to believe that if I'm alone, I don't have worth. So in order for me to feel worthy, for me to have value of self, then I need to be in a partnership. I need to have someone with me as a testament to other people around me that yes, indeed, I am lovable, I am worthy, I am valuable. I have this person who says they love me, they want to be with me, so I can say, look, here's my relationship. Let's show that to the rest of the world. That is a part of the program. That is fear-based thinking. If, for instance, you're in a love-based mindset and you're in a relationship with someone, you are far less likely to be concerned about the opinions and concepts of those around you versus more concerned with, how can I serve my partner? This is someone who has committed their life to me. I'm in this partnership with this person. Let me love them fully. Let me be confident in who I am as a person, because I already know that I'm worthy. I'm not programmed. I'm confident. I'm capable. I am able to do work. I might not be the biggest, tallest, most muscular person around, but the job gets done, and it gets done to a great degree because I am consistent in my work ethic. I am knowledgeable. I read up on how to perform my task. I'm the best at what I do, not because I'm tall, not because I'm muscular, but because I'm thoughtful, but because I engage my imagination in order to develop ways to create and cultivate a sense of comfort for my partner to create a better life for her or him. You see the difference between the programmed mindset and fear versus the one in love? So look at those concepts a little bit differently. When you're in a fear-based mindset, you're in the program. When you're in a love-based mindset, you're doing your due diligence, you're doing your critical assessments, you're asking yourself what I think versus what they think. You know that your value and your worthiness of self is intrinsic to your incarnation as a human being. You were born with it. You were born with your worthiness intact. But because of the program, you as a child at some point started to, get programmed by family, friends, people around you, the news, stories, school, things that were telling you that, you're not tall enough, you're not thin enough, you're not muscular enough, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough. So now, because you don't feel like enough in a variety of different ways, you start to give more so that you can get that sense of worthiness, because it's been taken from you. You no longer believe that you're worthy. You no longer believe that you have value of self inside of yourself. So you start to think that, well, if I work harder, if I go to the gym, if I earn more money, if I, give and buy more products and do this and do that, and I become a good patron of commerce, if I'm, a consumer, as it were, then maybe I can start to feel a little bit better about myself. And then I can, I'm not worthy, but let me create this mindset for a partnership, right? And then I can attract the right partner. And then I can prove to everybody else, again, proving to everyone else that I'm worthy by showing up with a partner so that they will validate me in my worth. Do you see how twisted and how roundabout and how crazy that is in the concepts of the program itself? When in reality, you can step away and say, you know what? You can think what you want. I don't rest my opinions of myself on your opinions of me. I'm going to step away from that paradigm. I'm going to step away from that program. I'm going to stand in the mirror and I'm going to choose to say, you know what? Granted, yes, I'm not as tall as I have been programmed to believe that I should be in order to be considered attractive. But that is a concept that is arbitrary and abstract. Height versus attractiveness that's so arbitrary. It's so unique to each individual. Each individual, we're all attractive and unique in our own ways. Nobody looks identical except for identical twins. And even then, identical twins don't look exactly alike. But if you look around, we're all different looking. So what exactly is attractive? Break it down. You have the right and the power and the ability to do your own critical assessment of all of these aspects of the program that keep you stuck. And it's scary, right? It's scary because you've been programmed to believe that you're not good enough, smart enough to do the work. And then on top of that, we feed into it, and then we end up magnifying the program in other people, because if we have to adhere to it, then we hold other people accountable to the program. And it's like the self-licking ice cream cone effect. We do to other people what we're fearful of having done to us. So we go along. We go along with it. We play along with it. People in mass need to be in fear so they will be easily controlled. That's really all this is. But listen, just imagine, suspend your disbelief for just a moment and think about what could happen if you didn't feel afraid all the time. What if you didn't feel insecure all the time? What if you had all the confidence in the world? Can you suspend your disbelief for just a moment and imagine what your life would look like if you stopped caring about the opinions of other people? If you looked around and realized, you know what, I have enough, I have what I need, let me just be happy right now. Let me just be fulfilled right now. Let me just be satisfied right now. That way, you can focus on the things that really matter, such as maybe a focal point of a serious health condition that maybe you've been ignoring because you've been programmed to avoid it. Maybe you can look at that thing about yourself that really needs some attention, and then you can pour your energy into areas where it's really, truly personally effective, as opposed to being used and manipulated to the greater, to the consumer, the corporate greed, as it were, mainstream media, as it were. These elements that need to benefit off of your energy and your time and your money, all of your investments, that pull out of you what you need to be invested into pouring back into yourself. What if you loved who you are as you are? And what if you loved your neighbor the same way, no matter who they are and their background? Imagine what we could accomplish. It sounds hokey, right? You know why it sounds hokey? Because you're programmed to believe that. These future episodes of From Fear to Love are exactly that. It is intended to get you thinking into a mindset outside of fear and into your love that you were born with, that you're entitled to. You're entitled to know your power. You're entitled to know your worth. You're entitled to know your value of self. You're entitled to move through this life and to say, you know what? I see how you're treating me, and I see how you're moving through your life. And you know what? I can understand that you're still stuck in the program, and that's why you're treating me this way, but I don't accept it. I don't move that way anymore. I don't need that kind of energy, and I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm just going to wish you well, no bitterness, and I'm going to enforce that boundary. You no longer have access to me. I'm treating myself better these days. I'm taking better care of myself. I am the steward of my well-being. I say that to my clients every day. I am the steward of my well-being. I am my own ride or die. I am the person that I am committed to for the rest of my life. I can't divorce me. I have to pour into me first. Being selfish isn't selfish. Breaking out of the program is to first start with you and to take care of your needs. You cannot show up for other people in a space of love if you are not loving yourself fully. That's a fact. And I do believe that in an intuitive way, that intuition, that higher thinking part of who you are knows that what I'm saying makes sense. That's why we have our intuition, and the program wants you to ignore it. Think for yourself, do for yourself, love yourself, accept yourself. Don't worry about the opinions of other people. They're in the program. When someone judges you, hey, it's a program. When someone is in a headspace of love, fully, completely, loving themselves and loving their neighbor fully, they don't judge. So if someone's judging you, it's a program. It's really easy. And now, once you do that, think about what you can do next. All right. From Fear to Love. This has been an LBM production. Please like, subscribe, and share this show. Thanks for listening.